Today we're going to review graphing quadratic functions. A quadratic function is a function in the form of f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where your a value is not 0. Otherwise, it would not be a quadratic function. When you graph a quadratic, it forms a parabola, meaning if it's x squared, it's going to give you a U-shaped graph. If we look at this picture of a sample quadratic function, our axis of symmetry means that when we fold our quadratic equation or our quadratic graph over that line of axis of symmetry, one side reflects onto the other side. The axis of symmetry goes through the vertex of your graph. A line about which a figure is symmetric or fold over. The x-coordinate equals negative b over 2a, and that helps us find the x coordinate for our vertex. For example, if our vertex is the coordinate negative 3, 2, the axis of symmetry equation is x equals negative 3. So there is a formula to find the equation for your axis of symmetry. Again, that equation is x equals negative b over 2a, and that x-coordinate of your vertex is the axis of symmetry equation. In the function f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c, when a is positive, meaning your a value is greater than 0, the graph opens upward, the vertex is the minimum point. When a is negative, meaning your a value is less than 0, the graph opens downward, and the vertex then is a maximum point. The y-coordinate of the vertex is the max or min value obtained by the function. Consider the quadratic function f of x equals 2 minus 4x plus x squared. We're going to find the y-intercept, the axis of symmetry, and the x-coordinate of the vertex. We're going to make a table of values that include the vertex, and then we're going to graph the function. Always remember to rewrite your quadratic in the form f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c, so that you can accurately see what your a value is. So when we rewrite our function, we have f of x equals x squared minus 4x plus 2. Our a value is a positive 1, b is negative 4, and our c value is 2. In order to find the axis of symmetry equation, we use the formula x equals negative b, so the opposite of negative 4 would be positive 4 over 2 times a, so 2 times 1. Simplify, we get x equals 2. Is our axis of symmetry. In order to find the y-intercept, all we do is plug 0 in for x into our original equation. Okay, and that gives you the y-intercept. So when we do that, our y-intercept is the point 0, 2. Now we can make a table of values. Because x equals 2 is the x-coordinate of our vertex, we know what our middle value in our t-table should be. So when we make our t-table, in the middle we put our x-coordinate of the vertex, so that's 2. I would pick 2 values greater than and 2 values less than that, so 3 and 4 for x, 1 and 0 as well. We now substitute all of these x values back into our function to solve for y. So when we do that, we get 16 minus 16 plus 2. So a point on our graph is going to be 4, 2, and so on. When we substitute all of these in, you can see our t-chart shows that on opposite sides of the vertex, our y values are the same. Because of that axis of symmetry, those y values on the opposite side of the vertex should be the same. And lastly, when we graph it, we're going to plot our points. So we plot our vertex at 2, -2, and then we have a point at 1, -1, and 3, -1, and then 0, 2, and 4, 2. And there is your parabola. Let's go through one more. Our next function is f of x equals -x² plus 2x plus 3. Does the function have a max or a min value? Well, in order to determine that, we have to look at our a value. Your a value is the number in front of x². That's its coefficient. So it is going to give us a max because a equals -1. A equals -1, so it opens downward. Meaning our vertex would give us a max value. State the max or min value of the function. Remember, in order to find the coordinates of our vertex, to find the x-coordinate, we use -b over 2a. So if we look at our b value, it's a 2, so -2 over 2 times our a value, which is -1. We can simplify that to give us a +1. In order to find the corresponding y value at that point, we plug it into our function to solve for y. So f of 1 equals 1 squared, and then the opposite of that, plus 2 times 1, plus 3. Simplifying this is giving us our y coordinate. So our y coordinate is going to be 4. 4 is the max value. Of the function.